up, good people? I'm Elena of Financialdemics, where I give you the tips and tools to manage your money, increase your savings and your income, and decrease your debt. And today I'm going to give you tips on how to get a month ahead on your bills. So if you're looking to get your money right and build a strong financial foundation, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button below so you don't miss another one of my uploads. Okay, so let's just get straight into it. The goal of getting a month ahead on your bills is so that you always have money in your account to pay next month's bills. For example, if this is September, the money you make in September is actually going to pay for October's bills. The money you make in October will pay for November's bills, and the money you make in November will pay for December's bills. First of all, this takes away that paycheck to paycheck lifestyle because at least you are a month ahead, right? You won't have to worry about how you're going to pay for next month's bills. But also, it gives you some comfort because you know that you actually have the money just in case your source of income suddenly disappears. For me, it's important to be a month ahead on my bills in addition to having an emergency fund. So this is something that is separate from your starter emergency fund, separate from your fully funded emergency fund. So I'm going to give you a few tips on how you can actually get a month ahead on your actual bills. In order to get a month ahead on your bills, the first thing that you really have to do is budget. So if you're not budgeting already or you're not sure how to budget, I'll make sure I'll link my budget playlist so that you can go through and figure out which budgeting method is best for you. But you do have to be able to budget because you won't exactly know how much you actually need to put to the side in order to get a month ahead on your bills. And also, if you're not budgeting and you're just spending your money freely however you choose without an actual plan, then it's going to be harder for you to get a month ahead on your bills. The next thing you should do is set up a sinking fund for these funds. So for me, because we have multiple bank accounts, I could just leave that money in our bills account and I won't necessarily have to worry about it. But if you're a person who struggles with discipline a little bit, then set up a sinking fund, so an account separately somewhere else where that money will automatically go to, so that when it's time for you to pay those bills, you would just pay those bills directly from that account or transfer it back into your savings at that time. So a few places where you can set up accounts for sinking funds are like Capital One 360. You could use Simple Bank, Digit, or even Capital. Those are just a few, but there are plenty other places where you can put your money in order to save for your next month's bills. So the way that I initially got a month ahead on my bills was from windfalls. So around that time, I actually received a tax refund and I received a bonus. Went ahead and I put 2 months of my bills in my bill account at the time, but I actually ended up transferring 1 month into my emergency fund because not necessary. But I went ahead, took the amount that I knew that I spend in a month for my expenses and made sure that it was already set aside in my bill account. Now, if you get a tax refund or you get a bonus, that's something you can do. And then any other windfalls that you get, it doesn't have to be just those two. You can use that money to help you get ahead on your bills. The next way you can get a month ahead on your bills is by using your extra paychecks that you get. So if you are paid weekly or bi-weekly, that means that a couple times a year, sometimes one time a year, just depending on which Friday you're paid, if you're bi-weekly, you are going to receive an extra paycheck. And if you're keeping up with paying your bills on time, then you really shouldn't have anything due. So use that money from that paycheck and put it in your sinking fund or your bill account and save that as your money to help you get a month ahead on your bills. Another way you can do this is just by saving some of your money. So you know I'm big on saving money. So if you want to take a percentage from your check every time you get paid and have it go automatically to your savings or your sinking fund, you can use that money to help you get a month ahead on your bills. Another way you can do it is by saving your raises. So in my last video, I talked about that being another way to save money, and that can also help you in this situation. So if you receive a raise, continue living on the same amount of money you were living on previously and set up for your direct deposit to automatically put that percentage of your raise or the amount of your raise into your savings every single time you get paid, and then that will help you to be able to build up your account enough to get a month ahead on your bills. Another way you can do it is by using the income that you receive from either doing side hustles or having a part-time job. So if I didn't have the money from a bonus and taxes to be able to do that, then I could have took the income that I made from teaching on the side to help me build up my sinking fund in order to get a month ahead. And so you can do the same. So if you have a side hustle, then use some of those funds to help you get ahead. Now this next one I feel like I'm always mentioning, but you know you probably have some expenses that you don't use or you don't need. You're just wasting money. I think we all do it at some point or another. So you could check your expenses, see if there are things that you're not actually using but you're paying for, and use that money to help you get ahead. So cut that expense out, set up for a transfer for that money to automatically just go to your savings, and you can build that way. And the next way you can get a month ahead on your bills is a little extreme, but if you are currently in a position where it is more comforting to you to get a month ahead on your bills than actually do this, then take a break and try this method. So if you are on a debt payoff plan and you are really like kicking butt, you are paying off, you're putting a significant amount extra towards your debt each month. If you are not a month ahead on your bills and you feel like that's really important for you and it will give you an extra level of comfort, then just pause your journey for a quick second. And I mean quick second. You need to go back and use that extra income that you have that you was putting towards that debt and go ahead and get a month ahead on your bills and put that money into that sinking fund. And then once you have the amount that you want in there, then you can continue. Or you don't have to necessarily stop, but you could maybe split the money in a ratio that works for you, and start putting money to get ahead on your bills and also continue to pay extra towards your debt. Just choose whatever works for you. If you're not able to get ahead on your bills the way that I did, which was through a windfall, then you could definitely implement the other steps that I talked about to help you get 1 month ahead on your bills. So in the comments below, let me know if you are a month ahead on your bills and how long it took you, or if you're not, is that something that you're looking to do? If you really like this video, if it was helpful to you, please give it a thumbs up so that it can get out to more people, because that's how YouTube knows that this information was information that could help others. If you're not subscribed already, I'm not sure what you're waiting on, but go ahead and hit that button below. And I will see you next week with an all new video.